On a hill far away stood an old rugged cross, the emblem of suffering and shame. I don't love that old cross where the dearest and best for a world of the empire was slain. I don't cherish the old rugged cross because it's a burden I gladly lay down. I won't cling to the old rugged cross. I exchange it this day for a crown. Come on, remix. Hey, I'm digital pastor and real country artist Kevin Garcia coming to you from my friend's bedroom because it's so cute and it's clean and he's out of town. So I'm gonna use this little setup while we have it. It's been a while since I have popped on the internet to say hello because frankly, my mental health has been in the toilet. You know how that feels when you can only do what you can do? That's where I've been at. And I feel like there's been this block in my creative flow because when I don't have energy, when I do not feel good, I cannot do good. Does that make sense? And that's really like the thing that I've been chasing after my whole life. I want to feel good. And I think for a while, it's just like, you just want to feel good. You just want to chase after feeling good and being happy. And I'm like, yeah, I do. Is that a problem? I grew up in a kind of faith tradition in evangelical Christianity that taught me that like, unless I was suffering, I wasn't doing good. Unless I was really like working myself to the bone for the kingdom of God, I wasn't worthy. And I think that's a lie that we get from capitalism. Because capitalism says you're only as good as what you produce. You're only as good as the work that you put in. You're only as holy as you feel tired. I don't think it's good. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. I'm tired. A lot of us are really tired. So what I did basically most of last month is take it one day at a time, allow myself to breathe, do my job, meet with my clients, do the work. But really, there was a huge part of me that was so thankful to slow down, to just say, for a little bit, maybe I can't produce. Maybe I can only produce a little. Maybe that's what I can do. Maybe that has to be enough for today because that's what I can give. It's a level of self-compassion that I have trouble giving to myself. And that's something my therapist pointed out to me a few times, that I'm so quick to give compassion to other people and not for myself. So I rested a lot. And I said, you know what? It didn't get done because it didn't get done because I ain't got it right now. You know what I got the capacity for right now? Taking my meds, talking to my therapist, doing my yoga and breathing, and doing some work because, quarantine is really, this isolation is, honestly, it's kind of fucking with me. I've got a wonderful roommate. I've got wonderful friends. I have like a pod of people. Like it's the only 6 people that I've spent any meaningful time with during quarantine. Zoom church, if I wake up in time. But I'll tell you what, the thing that has given me a lot of hope though is moving into this election season, like seeing people recognize like what has been going on for way too long unchecked. I was Elizabeth Warren stan, I was a Bernie bro, and now I'm back in Joe Biden and Kamala Harris because at the end of the day, like it's coming down to it. We do not have any more time. And so if you're somebody who's been on the fence about whether or not to vote for Joe Biden because he wasn't your candidate, I am so sorry. I need you to swallow your pride for half a second and consider the following. It is going to be easier for us to organize revolutionary ideas and organize communities better when we have a administration that is not Donald Trump and his racist ass, queerphobic ass, transphobic ass, misogynist policies. It's a fact. It'll be easier for us to organize. Thing is, like, you can elect somebody and then also hold their feet to the fire to say, guess what? You got to go further. You got to go further. You got to go further. And especially, like, I have so much hope because I feel like people are getting activated in a way that they've never been activated before, People are actually willing to say Black Lives Matter on the internet. What a concept! But I'm thrilled. I have a lot of hope, but I'm also aware that I have to take care of myself, because if I don't take care of myself, like, I am liable to crash like I did. But what really triggered this mental health thing for me was one hard conversation which triggered a wound from my past that sent me into a huge spiral. You know, it took me a second to recognize that's what was happening. I was getting like into like the first cycles of the panic attack where you're going and you're like, I don't know what's wrong with me. And then like I remember like there was like a voice in my head saying, there's nothing wrong with you. You're having a panic attack. It's very normal. And I was like, oh, I'm having a panic attack. I know how to talk someone else through this. I know how to talk myself through this. And so I started going through my self-care checklist. Have you eaten today, Kevin? No. Well, let's go get something to eat. Have you drank any water? No. Well, maybe let's drink some water. Did you remember to take your meds today, Kevin? No. It's very interesting when my self-care game is not keeping up. No wonder my mental health is in the toilet, because I've not created an environment for me to have a healthy state of mind. It's something to pay attention to. I'm glad I could pay attention. I'm glad I could give myself the space and the grace to say, you know what, like, the world is so fucking tough right now. And maybe what the world doesn't need is me making a bunch of half-ass attempts at videos that don't actually feed my soul or anybody else's soul. And for me, I turned on the camera today. I didn't know what the fuck I was gonna talk about, but I'm just here to say, like, I'm struggling along with y'all, but I'm also like starting to finally get back into myself, and I'm excited about getting some of this content out there. I have so much stuff that's just in a backlog. It just needs to be spit out. I've got to say that like my chest tattoo looks really cute right now. Anyways, I love you so much. I want to let you know, if you're watching this in real time on September 3rd, I am going to be talking to Beloved Arise Youth Group, which is called Beloved Rebel, I think it's called. It's their youth group. Go to belovedarise.org if you are a youth, a queer Christian of faith, and you want to be a part of a radically inclusive online youth group community. I'm going to be speaking there. It's completely free. It's geared towards high school and middle school students, queer students and allies. So if you're a queer Christian youth out there, or an ally youth, or you just need a place to check out, I'm gonna be talking to a youth group on Monday, because once a youth pastor, always a youth pastor. I think that's everything. Oh, and I've got a workshop coming up at the end of the month called The Big Queer Bible Study. You can see that on the internet. And if you're watching this in the future and you're like, whoa, I want to be a part of that, go to my website. It'll be there in the future as an e-course that you can take online on your own and educate yourself. Song for everything. Song for everything. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, I love you so much. So remember, take your meds, call your person, move your body in a way that feels good, and eat something delicious. Make sure that you are talking about your feelings often, crying when you need to, and dancing it out afterwards, because dancing is the way to release cortisol from your body. You gotta get it working to make it get out of your body. I don't know what. Can you tell I've been alone for too long? Okay. Anyways, I'm out of here. I love you so much, and I'll see you next time. Bye.